course, there's more trailers and more trailers, more stuff dropping, more things coming out. I'm just so excited about it. But of course, I've already just completed another trailer rundown a couple of entries ago, and we just had another drop for another show I'm excited about. So I figured this was already on the list of shows I want to talk about. Let's just do both the trailer and the show all together. So, Mythic Quest is a show on Apple TV. It's an Apple TV exclusive. It is written and created by Rob McElhenney, Charlie Day, and Megan Gans. If those names don't ring a bell, it's three of the very crucial writers of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Now, I haven't done an It's Always Sunny entry yet. I probably should, just because I love that show so much as well, and I love Rob McElhenney. And I had talked about Welcome to Wrexham in the trailer rundown, and now he's got a trailer that was just released for Season 3 of Mythic Quest. So, for anybody who hasn't been exposed to this yet, if you're a video game fan, if you're a Rob McElhenney fan, even if you just have Apple TV and you're looking for some of its original content to watch, sit down and watch Mythic Quest. It is phenomenal. Just from the comedy aspect writing of itself, let alone that it incorporates this behind-the-scenes satire of video game programmer world. So, Mythic Quest is essentially the name of a video game created by Rob McElhenney's character. Now, in this world, the game is it's an MMORPG, and it's sort of in the same realm as like World of Warcraft. So it's WoW, but for this universe. And I say that because it's as big and as popular as that universe. So the first season actually was titled something different. It was titled Mythic Quest Raven's Banquet. Now, Raven's Banquet was added because the entire first season is all about their ability to get out this expansion to the game titled Raven's Banquet. And that whole first season is just going through all of the motions of what it's like being a programmer and having these deadlines and needing to do all of that work to get the video game working properly. But it's also set in this realm of it's very It's Always Sunny-esque, but not fully there. Like Rob McElhenney's character, I believe, if I remember it correctly, it's Ian Gray or Ian Grimm. It's Ian Grimm. Yes, it's Ian Grimm. So Ian Grimm is very much this hyper alpha male, or trying to be an alpha male character. He walks around with a lot of big fancy rings. He wears really tight clothes. He wields a sword whenever he wants to. And it's very much if Mac became a big shot program video game developer. And it's just funny to see in that light. So it's hard to look at Rob McElhenney and not see Mac. But you do see a little bit of Mac come out in Ian Grimm. However, it does have a bunch of other people. It has, I can't remember this guy's name. It's David something. I can't remember exactly what his full name is. But it has the actor who plays Cricket in It's Always Sunny. He plays a manager in the same company. It's got F. Murray Abraham, who plays the author who wrote the original books that Mythic Quest is based off of. So it's really funny to see him walking around. There's his main sort of partner. I don't remember the actress's name, but the character's name is Poppy. And Poppy is like the other lead programmer, so they have a lot of back and forth, whereas Poppy's the one that's more rational thinking, and Ian is the one that's very much, I'm going to do what sounds like fun. So there's this whole episode where they're trying to put a shovel into the game, and Poppy's like, yeah, I think a shovel will be perfect. And Ian's like, I get it, it's a shovel-shaped axe. And Poppy's like, no, it's just a shovel. It's for digging. And it's just this back and forth banter and the back and forth comedy of it between these two characters. And the entire first season is just all character building. And it ends with a special called Quarantine. which was meant to be the 10th episode, but it was released a long time after the original season came out. And it was basically their sort of way of expressing, oh, here's what we, all went through at the beginning of the pandemic. And it's kind of like showing, them as humans and characters and the remote working and how it hit everybody differently. And it's very lighthearted. I actually appreciated the quarantine episode a lot. But now when you go into season two, it drops straight down to Mythic Quest. And in Mythic Quest, they are talking about another new title for the game. And this one's called Titan's Rift. And now Titan's Rift is meant to be this big thing when it comes to ocean expansions and stuff like that. So again, we're going right back to what Raven's Banquet gave us, but there's more underlining stuff to it. So there's a whole episode in season 2 that shows a backstory of another company that had written a horror game, and that was like taking place in the same kind of building, and you don't learn that until later on. But it's just it again is just a very well-rounded season when it comes to the stories it's trying to portray in the light of what we already led off of with season 1. So it goes deeper into programmers and artists and testers and the backstory of Ian and the backstory of Poppy and building them up as characters. And what's really fun about that is the very end of that season, they have a special called Everlight, which is where the whole company does like a LARP session, and they have this tournament, this whole LARP tournament to choose like a winner, and it's all the office personnel, and that's probably one of the funnest episodes of the entire show. And I guess that's why it's a special, but it's just being that it takes a moment where it steps out of the comedy realm, and it's like it's almost like this imagination breaking thing where you are shown what they're doing in the LARPing, and even after the LARPing, it breaks into this almost separate reality, or this separate fantasy, which becomes the reality, where it shows, oh yeah, this is actually what a LARPer sees, and this is what they experience in their head when they're having these LARP fights. So that is a fantastic episode and a great special to end the second season. And now we've got the third season that's coming out soon. I think it's meant to premiere sometime in the fall, sometime maybe around October. I can't remember the actual date or whatnot. But the season for the third trailer just... it makes it look even better than whatever the first 2 seasons had given us. And I loved the first 2 seasons, and I can't wait for the third season of this to come out. And it's already been renewed. As of last year, it was renewed for a 3rd and a 4th season. So it was just about waiting for it. And whatever they're going to do here, it's already got, everybody back from what I see in the trailer. It's also somehow picked up John... I'm going to butcher his last name, Magnolia, or John Manganelli. I can't pronounce his last name to save my life correctly, but it's the actor who was meant to play Deathstroke in the Snyderverse series. He's been in a ton of things. That's the first thing that comes to my head, but he's supposed to play a role in it somehow, so I think that's hilarious. With the fact that Rob McElhenney is showing that he has a friendship with Ryan Reynolds, with, the whole Welcome to Wrexham thing, I would love for Ryan Reynolds to make a guest appearance on the 3rd season or the 4th season. I think that would be fantastic. And vice versa, I would love for maybe Deadpool 3 to randomly have Rob McElhenney thrown in there for some random reason. I think that would be great. But Mythic Quest is a great show, and it just shows the tremendous writing talent of what just this kind of studio of writers, this conglomeration of like all these people that are kind of all working. Almost all of them had worked on It's Always Sunny, and now here they are doing Mythic Quest for Apple TV, and they're 2 spectacular shows that have pretty much half of, if not more than half, of the same team sort of working on it. And for those who don't really know who Megan Gans is, she's the one that's been hosting, if you watch it on YouTube, the It's Always Sunny podcast. She's the Megan that you see them talking to, who kind of runs it, does all the editing for it and whatnot. So while they're sitting in the circle, she's the one off to the side. And She's been writing for It's Always Sunny. I want to say since the beginning. Maybe I'm wrong. I want to say she's been with It's Always Sunny. No, maybe it's more recent than that. Maybe at least the last 5 or 6 years. But I thought she might have been since the beginning. But maybe she's just been on for that long, for not as long as the show has been. So I think it's great. You should definitely give Mythic Quest a chance if you have Apple TV. And, even if you don't, you find a way to watch it. Find a way, because for your video game nerd, for just more Rob McElhenney, if you're a fan of him, or if you're a fan of Always Sunny, it's a great show, and I can't wait for the third season to come out.